PlayStation 5 Pro is not only going to save the rest of the 9th generation of console gaming, but at the same time, it is going to destroy console gaming going forward. And it's kind of a double-edged sword, because now that we see that much power costs $700 in a console space, it kind of makes you think that maybe Xbox coming out with the Series S and the Series X was probably the better decision this time around. And to be completely honest with you guys, $700 is a lot to ask for a console. Literally for a console. You're pushing closer into PC space. After you get the stand and a disk drive for this, you're over $800. You're well over $800 for a console. And then if you upgrade your storage, you get a 4 terabyte SSD, that's another freaking $300. But thankfully this one comes with 2 terabytes of storage, so you might be okay. You might not need to go out, rush right out and buy more storage. But here's the thing, guys. Console gaming as we know it is coming to an end, period. The price of the PlayStation 5 Pro pretty much sets the trend of how things are gonna go in the future. Like, I had to stop and think about this for a minute, because after my initial rush and my initial like, whoa, this is pretty freaking sweet for PlayStation to do this, and like my instant like, yeah, $700, whatever, I spend that on a freaking GPU, no problem, I'll buy one. Like, the reality started sinking in that like, dang, this is gonna save the 9th generation, obviously, for those who can afford it, because now you'll be able to utilize your 4K TV a little bit easier. You'll be able to hit that, you know, that 60 frames a second at, you know, upscaled 4K. And you know, if PSSR is good and it does a good job at delivering like a 4K visual experience, I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like that is a necessary. This is a necessary console when it comes to this 4K era of console gaming. Like, it is very necessary. And a lot of people are going to try to tell you that it's not necessary, but it really is. If you go out and you shell out all that money for a 4K TV, you want that to look good on a 4K TV. If you go as far back as, man, you go back to like Dreamcast on the older TVs and stuff, and you look at how that turned out, and it just looks so crisp and it looks so clean. The visuals look good. Same with PlayStation 2. Same with, you know, all of the you know, Xbox, you know, Xbox 360. You know, you go back and you look at these consoles and how they performed on the resolution. We didn't start getting games starting to look off until we started getting to 1080p. Then you could start to tell, you know, if a game came out at 720. I mean, most of us were none the wiser. We didn't really know. I guarantee most of us didn't even care until Digital Foundry came along and started ruining our console life with their, yeah, this resolution. And we didn't even notice that until those guys came along. And then, you know, but if you look at across time and you look at the way the image quality mapped to the screen of the times, it was good and it looked good and it was bright and vibrant and beautiful, and we all love that. And now when we start pushing into some of these games, you know, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that came out, and it looked kind of freaking like it was fuzzy and blurry and just really like washed out and stuff. And you look at some of the other games that have come out and they're just not doing well enough on a 4K screen, that yes, PlayStation 5 Pro is absolutely necessary. But can you afford it? Can you afford it? You already shelled out $500 on a 4K, 8K console so that you could play on your brand new expensive LG C2, and it doesn't do it. And you can't do that. And you're always, I mean, like, take this for instance. The PlayStation guys out there right now are literally freaking out because Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown doesn't look good on a PlayStation 5. It doesn't look good. I mean, if they all went and bought 1080p TVs, it would look absolutely incredible. And that's just the thing. But none of them are willing to go out and buy the right screen to match with their PlayStation 5s. So they are getting a horrible visual experience. Now, I know this because I actually tested the lowest settings on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and it actually looked pretty decent still. I was like, wow, this actually doesn't look terrible. And you know, I mean, it like almost doubled my frame rate, but it didn't look terrible. So you look at that, and then you look at the cost of the PS5 Pro, which is essentially a little bit more than like your 4070 Super, a little bit more than a 4070 Super. Actually, it's the exact same price as a 4070 Super, I think. No, it's $599. $599 for a 4070 Super, and this is $100 more, and you're right around that performance wise after using like upscaling and all of that stuff, you know, depending on your CPU and your PC, you are hitting, you know, pretty decent. Like it's a fair enough comparison to compare PS5 Pro to like a 4070 Super. It is. I think they're about the same teraflop. It's like 30-something teraflops. So yeah, it's kind of a fair comparison. But when you start looking at that, and you start looking at the cost of a PS5 Pro at $700, and that's for a digital only version. You start looking at $700. A lot of people want to have their games and their discs and their media and all of that stuff. So that's another $80. Then you throw on a stand if you want to be, you know, fancy or whatever and get your stand. That's another, you know, $30 to $40, $50 maybe. So you're already pushing over $800 for a console. And you can basically go out and get a really good PC that's going to have significantly more power for like $1,500. And it's not going to die in 4 years. Like 4 years. Like you're going to spend $700 for 4 years on a PS4 Pro, on a PS5 Pro. $700, $800 if you get the drive and the stand, $1,300, or you know, $8, $9, $10, $1,100 if you get a 4 terabyte SSD, because they're about $329 now for 4 terabytes. So you figure that whole cost in, you've got a good PC that in, you know, a few years after that, you just upgraded the GPU and you've got another 4 to 6 years of PC gaming. It's getting to a point, my friends, where yeah, I don't know if console gaming is going to ever be affordable again for the mass majority. It seems like PlayStation is really looking at something. This is my idea. I think PlayStation, now that they are going PC, they are looking at delivering an entry-level PC experience. I kind of feel like PlayStation 6 is going to do the exact same thing that Xbox is going to do by allowing Steam and all of that stuff. And this pretty much just cements that. Is like, hey guys, you better get used to paying more money, but trust me, going PC is expensive, but we'll always have a slightly cheaper option for you. I think PlayStation and Xbox both realize that the younger generations just don't care about consoles like us older guys do. So they're trying to cater to them 45-year-old babies over there on Twitter that are like, yeah, we want a Pro and we want this. And I think they're trying to cater to that. I think they're trying to continue to capture the market of the 300 million-ish console gamers. I think they're trying to continue to hold them into that market instead of letting them just go to PC. PlayStation is doing everything it can in its power with the announcement and distribution of PlayStation 5 Pro. These guys are smart. I think I know what they're doing. Obviously, the console market is not growing any bigger. So with PS5 Pro, these guys are actually going after those 3060 bros. They're going after those, you know, entry-level PC guys. They're going after them. Would these guys, you know, they're going after them and they're trying to hang on to the Puerto Rock 77s and the Tim Dogs and the freaking Colt Eastwoods and they're trying to, the MBGs and the freaking Marlin Gamings, they're trying to hold these guys. They're like, oh, please don't leave us for PC. And it's like, come on, guys. You know, you got to kind of look at the way Xbox approached this generation with that mindset like, yeah, we're in the console business. And then when everybody says that Xbox is so far ahead, but this kind of puts PlayStation more forward thinking, at least in terms of like this generation, starting now before Xbox can even put out the next Xbox. Well, I don't know, 4 years, you got 4 years now with PS5 Pro. If Xbox just comes to the market in 2026 with the next gen Xbox, then that puts PlayStation a couple years behind. You know what I mean? That in a way, like, this is a battle. This is a race to see who can get to the PC market the quickest with a PlayStation or an Xbox. Pretty much like, yeah, branded PCs to try to capture that market. Console gaming has fallen by the wayside, my friends. It is. And this is PlayStation's like, hey man, we're serious. We're going to start moving toward more of that PC experience. And yeah, guys, this is going to be an interesting rest of the generation to see how this goes. I do plan on getting a PS5 Pro as soon as I can. I don't think I'm going to pre-order it, but I will try to get one as soon as possible for the channel, of course, obviously. The only reason I'm not going to pre-order it is because the pre-orders are probably all going to be on PlayStation Direct, and they literally, you know, charge your card right then and there, and then they hold that money for like a week or whatever, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So if I can, because pre-orders go open on the 26th. My wife is, you know, leaving on vacation tomorrow morning, so I just don't know if I'll have the money in the bank to let them, you know, hold that against for that long. But I don't know. I think they hold it for like a week. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Maybe they won't. If pre-orders are live at like Amazon or Best Buy, I'll pre-order it that way too. But because then I could just put it on my credit card immediately. So if you guys are interested in this console experience still, I'm telling you right now to prepare for the future that, you know, consoles are going to get more expensive. They're not going to get any cheaper. They're not going for the little kids anymore, because the little kids just aren't interested. They got tablets and phones and whatever else. The younger generations are just not as interested in console gaming as we were, and I think they're realizing that, and I think they are trying to turn the tides of, you know, where they're trying to direct that research and that development and all of the money that they spend to try to do this. I think that's what's happening, my friends. And, you know, yeah, this is crazy. This is a crazy time we live in, but I kind of see the console experience falling apart a lot faster now that the PlayStation 5 Pro is a thing. It's kind of crazy, man. So, all right, guys, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.